What's going on, guys? Today I wanted to bring you another NAWCQ 2014 H.A.T format deck profile. The deck I'm here to bring you is Mythic Rulers. This deck was extremely strong back in the day and is still a very strong deck in modern H.A.T formats. It is a little bit of a complicated deck. Some people might even put it in one of the more skillful decks in this format, just having to know all the different interactions with the other cards in the deck. But it is really cool and people love their dragon rulers, so I'm excited to bring you this deck profile. So without further ado, let's get into it, starting with the main deck. Obviously, like I said, it's a ruler deck, so we are playing all four rulers in this format. They are still all at one. So one Blaster, one Title, one Tempest, and one Redox. If you don't know what these do, you're definitely going to want to, because they are used in a lot of different strategies, whether it's a one-of or a deck that plays multiple like this. They all have the effect that you can special summon them by banishing 2 dragons or cards of their type. So for example, Blaster, you can also banish fires, Title, waters, and so on and so forth. Then they also have an additional effect based on discarding cards of the same attribute. So for example, Blaster can pop a card, Title can send a monster, Redox can special summon, and so on and so forth. And then, I know it sounds like a lot, but they have another effect, and that's when they're banished, you can add a dragon monster with their same attribute. So again, earth, wind, water, fire, which is very important for this deck. So that's the ruler side. Moving on to the Mythics, which is kind of funny they call this Mythic Rulers when most builds are just playing one Mythic Water and one Mythic Tree Dragon. Pretty much what these do is water, if you have an earth monster, you can special summon it from your hand. And then Mythic Tree, you can target a water monster you control, and its level becomes that current level. So for example, you could summon this, special this, use this effect and make it a level 8, and then you can make a rank 8. If you have Redox on the field, for example, or not Redox, Title, you can copy Title, make a rank 7, which is very strong. Some people will choose to play 2 of this. I'll explain that when we get into the spells, but for the most part, a lot of topping lists are playing just the 1 and 1, but there is the option to play multiple. After that, we play 2 copies of White Stone of Legend and 2 copies of Blue Eyes. This might seem a little strange. This has to do with the fact we are playing Dragon Shrine, which I'll talk about more later. But it's a way to basically get a +1 as well as getting more copies of dragons in rotation for your dragon rulers. Also, we play trade-in, so being able to send this, add this, and then have a trade-in target is also really nice. After that, we play 2 copies of Flameveil Guard. It has big defense. It's a tuner for some of our other draw spells, as well as being a fire for Blaster, able to summon it. And also, because of the Dragon Rulers being 7, you can make level 8 synchros, which is very strong. After that, 1 Debris Dragon. It's at 1 in this format, being able to summon things back and use them for high-level synchro monsters or just other plays that you have. Very strong card, and it can be searched off of Tempest. And then 1 Dragunity Corseska. This is a flex spot. Technically, there's a lot of other cards you could play in this. From testing this deck, I wanted another target as a wind tuner specifically, just because usually I don't want to be getting rid of the Debris Dragon for my draw spells, so having an extra copy is really good, especially being a level 1 tuner, again, being able to use for those level 8 synchros. That's it for those. Moving on, we play 2 copies of Card Trooper. It's at 2 in the format, and 1 copy of Curry Bandit. Technically, if you don't play the Corseska, you could play another copy of Curry Bandit. Some decks will play 3, some will play 1, some won't even play it, and they'll just keep with the Card Troopers. I like Card Trooper a lot simply because it's an earth, so you can banish it for your redox, as well as it gets you a draw when it's destroyed. And if you summon it back off of Debris Dragon, even though its effects will be negated, its cost, so you can get more cards into rotation. So to me, this is a better starter than this, where you have to wait till the end phase, even though this will mill more. But you could, in theory, play another copy of that. And that is it for the monsters. Moving into the spells, we play 3 copies of Trade-In. This can be used, like I said, with the Mythic Water if you have to, or the Blue Eyes. So seeing this is almost always going to be live if you open a handful of other cards. So playing 3 is very important. And then 2 copies of Cards of Consonance. This is the card that I was saying why you wanted more tuners. Specifically, like I said, I was playing the Corseska or the Flamevel Guards. Just more ways to turbo through your deck. After that, 3 copies of Dragon Shrine. This is probably the best card that isn't like the rulers in the deck. Being able to technically foolish 2 monsters. What it does is you can send a dragon from your deck to the graveyard, and then if it's a normal dragon, you can send another. So you could send like a Flamevel Guard, and then after that send a Dragon Ruler, or you could send a Flamevel Guard and then send a White Stone and add a Blue Eyes to hand. Really, really powerful card, gets you a lot of resources right away. This is a turbo type combo deck, so 3 Upstart just to see your pieces, 3 Soul Charge, because again, just comboing off is really, really strong. And that is it for the 3 ofs and other cards. For the 1 ofs, 1 Foolish, can't have enough of that in this. 1 Gold Sark, being able to, for example, banish your Dragon Rulers, use the effect to search, add some other card, and then in 2 turns basically get that to hand, or just, thin your deck if you're in a tight spot and need to draw something good. And because the Dragon Rulers banish, Burial from the Different Dimension in order to get back resources, also very strong. Lastly, we are playing some trap cards, and I'm not the biggest fan of Floodgates, but this is a Floodgate deck as well if your plan fails. So we are playing 3 copies of Skill Drain. A lot of your Dragon Rulers are just really big, and a lot of them, have their effects in grave or in hand. So you can kind of just put up a big body and they have to get over it, as well as this shuts down so much of the format, just being able to turn off all those important monster effects. Really, really strong card. 2 copies of Phoenix Wing Windblast, getting more dragons in grave. This can, be used to disrupt your opponent if they don't have the best hand already, as well as getting rid of, say, White Stone, a legend, getting a Blue Eyes, and getting free pluses off of it. And the last trap is Torrential, just because it's board clearing and all your stuff is kind of recursive. So really cool as well there. Moving on to the extra deck, we play Hieratic, Sun Dragon, Overlord of Heliopolis, being able to out monsters Felgran, because if you have the Mythic Dragons, this is like your best turn 1 type play. Just having the option of effect negation turn 1 or just making it unaffected. Really, really powerful card in any deck that it's used. For the last rank 8, we do play Giant Grinder. This card just being able to pop multiple monsters, and then if it succeeds, inflicting some damage is really good, and late game can steal games. For the rank 7s, 2 copies of Dracosac. It is rulers, so, having Dracosac to pop things or just put up a wall, very, very strong. 1 Big Eye, stealing opponents' monsters. And that is it for the 7s. I chose to play 1 Exciton. This doesn't come up a lot, and honestly, you could cut this. There is some really weird niche plays where this can come up, and a lot of topping lists do play this. But if you wanted to, you definitely cut this. It's so rare that it comes up. I guess it's cool that it's an option, but it's not necessary. And then we do play some synchros. Star Eater, because Any Dragon Ruler plus Debris Dragon can make this. Your opponent can't respond basically during the battle phase when it's attacking, or I guess they can, but it's unaffected by other card effects. And it's just a 3200 beater. Really, really strong. 1 Azure Eyes. Cool card, being able to, soul charge one of your level 1 tuners or a Blue Eyes, making also your dragons not able to be targeted or destroyed by card effects for the turn or whatever. And then during your standby phase, you can summon back a normal monster, whether that be a tuner, a Blue Eyes, whatever you really need at the time. So really cool there. For 8s, Crimson Blader, there's a lot of high-level monsters in the format, whether you're going against other ruler decks, Lightsworn, Sylvans, Mermails. This card is just so good. Scrap Dragon, being able to pop cards. Colossal Fighter, being able to, just kind of beat over things under your skill drain and summon itself back, or, crash whatever you need. I also chose to play Stardust and Stardust Spark. They both have situations where they come out. You can, in theory, side out the skill drains as well and side into Vanity's Emptiness and stuff, and so these can protect that, as well as these are just good into already established boards. And the last card is Black Rose Dragon, just being able to clear boards. It's also a fire, which is cool for the blaster, and it's a 7, so if in theory you can also get rid of things to make rank 7s. So just a lot of cool synergies, but that is it for this deck profile. If you guys have questions about siding for this and what you should side in this deck or matchups you should be aware of, definitely let me know in the comment section, and maybe I'll make a siding video. I usually don't put side decks in these videos simply because it's up to player preference a lot of times. So if you guys do want to see that, though, definitely let me know in the comments section. And if you enjoyed the video and found it fun or informative, or just want to see more videos like this, I definitely appreciate if you drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. And anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video.